morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's hump day, it's Wednesday, the last Wednesday before the football season returns, starting on Friday with Manchester United versus Fulham. The excitement is building, the hopes are flying. We're opening ourselves up thinking something great's going to happen this season, only to probably be disappointed again, but who cares? That's football. Jimbo, how you doing today?
Yeah, excellent. Been looking forward to the show. Don't bring it down if you're going to be disappointed by the end of the season.
I just said it could happen. I didn't say will happen. I said it could happen. We are doing a special prediction show today, but we won't be starting it just yet because we're waiting for Nicholas, who's had to take his daughters to the orthodontist because one of them or two of them have broken their tooth. So I'm just going to have a chat before then about all things football. Spurs, there's always something to talk about, so we will go through some news in a minute. Big up to Chris Peters. I think I mentioned it yesterday. Become a member. Thank you so very much. Ian Meff's here. Big up, Ian. Hope you're well. We've got El Dante saying, morning, Kate and Jim. Hope you're well. We're good, thanks. Just a little bit hot. The nicest part of today so far has been going in my car to the shops because the aircon was blaring and it was bliss. It's a very sweaty day today. Barbaric Disdain says, afternoon, Kate and Jimbo. Big up to you. EMF saying the quad is on until it isn't. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to hear that this season. What can I do? Spurs to win the league, says El Dante. Loving the optimism. Afternoon, Drew la la. Says, nice to Nick too when he turns up. I know, you know what he's like, big time. He turns up when he wants. Listen, it's like what you say. It's on until it's not on. It's just whether it was ever on. I'm not going to be a negative Nancy, Jimbo. Don't worry. But we will be giving our predictions shortly, as well as, or not as well as, before our Premier League predictions for each week starts on Friday. I can't wait. I can't believe it. It's like I've blinked and the season suddenly come round. It seemed like a lifetime, and now all of a sudden it's here. Spurs have broke some news this morning, or it might have been yesterday, but it's only just come up on my phone. Ange Postecoglou has said that new striker Dominic Solanke's footballing journey has made him more motivated than ever to succeed at Spurs. And he's quoted as saying, we have got him at a really good time in his career. He has had to work his way back up, which I always think is a good thing. Sometimes when careers go smoothly, you wonder how people will handle the setbacks. But as he has had setbacks earlier in his career, he has fought his way back and has become a really good Premier League striker. He's keen to push on, wants to improve and make an impact. So I think it's a great time for us to bring him in. Do you agree with Ange, Jimbo? Oh, Jimbo's just having a row with the dogs.
No, I'm not. I think they're going to bark, but I'm just they're asleep, so they might not see Tom coming. Sorry, I missed that last bit.
No, Ange is basically saying that Solanke's had to build his way up. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll mute you for a minute and we'll go back to it.
It's all right, they're here.
Oh, Julie's just put Tottenham are expected to loan out Alfie Devine, Ashley Phillips and Jamie Donnelly for the end of the month, but Mikey Moore will be part of Ange's squad. This is pretty much what I predicted on the Irish Hotspur the other day. I said I really only saw Mikey Moore getting into the first team. And possibly I like Tyrese Hall and Alfie Devine. They were the only two I was a bit, but it looks like they're going out on loan. Big up AJ, much love to you. Big up Nige, hope you're well. Shemtan says, afternoon, Princess Kate, Sir Jimbo. The closer Monday gets, the more anxious I feel. Hope you two are feeling more confident than I am. Big up, Tigara. Good to see you. I was quoting Ange's interview where he said, this is a perfect time to get Solanke in. You know, he's built his way up. He's had knockbacks, but now he's really determined to succeed. Do you agree with Ange?
Yeah, 100%. We've got ourselves a good manager, Kate. It's just a lot of people are going on what he did last season with some of the football was a bit kamikaze. But look, I keep saying it. I don't know how many times I've got to say it. He's a smart bloke. He's not an idiot. He's been in management 26, 27 years. So if that's in management, how long has he been in football? Because he was a player as well. So look, he's not an idiot. He's a smart guy. He's come from nothing and built his way up to be a household name around the world with his football. So he's a smart guy. You don't do that unless you've got something about you. And he will adapt and he will learn the Premier League and he will take us places. We just got to have a bit of faith. Because what we saw in pre-season is pre-season. It's there for a reason. He's trying things out, trying players out, swapping them about, putting them in positions they're not used to. You know, in case we get injuries and he sees if they can play there. You know, how many Decky was moved around, you know, Gray was moved around. It's all about learning for the players and learning for him. You know, it doesn't matter what scores are. It's nice when we win because we celebrate it and enjoy it, you know.
Yeah.
Let him do his work. And he's brought in new coaches. One of them speaks something like 9 languages. So he's brought him in so he can talk to them, all the different guys in their own languages so they get the point across. Just have some faith. And enjoy what's coming.
AJ, it could well mean that Lancashire's staying. There's been no news about him as of yet. Nessie said Kamikaze and he won't change. He said that. How's that make him a good manager? As I keep saying, Nessie, everyone's entitled to their opinion. This is a fan channel. We're not analysts. We're not coaches. We just see it as fans. And part of being a fan is hoping that your club's going to do well. And that's just how we roll.
No, look, this is to the real Nessie. He doesn't have to change. He has to tweak, make a few little differences here and there, which I'm sure he'll do. He doesn't have to change his whole philosophy, right? And changes, you know, the way he wants to play. He has to make different tweaks when we get injuries and when we're playing different teams. I mean, he's had one season. Let's give the guy this season and see how we go.
Big up Elijah, says, hey Kate, how are you? Remember me on the Football Terrace chat? I do indeed. I hope you're well. I'm good. Thank you for asking. And yes, Drew, our fans do love a moan. Nige says, Solanke to get 20 goals this season. Said it on Savage show last night and I'm going to stick with it. I don't think that's an outrageous claim.
I think more.
I mean, if he gets 20 upwards, then he's a good signing. Dan, hi to you. Hope you're well. I agree, Nige. I think Solanke can definitely get 20 plus goals. I was anti-signing him at first, but I've flip-flopped now. He's with us and one of ours, and I've done more research. I'm the same. I don't think it's flip-flopping. I think it's just broadening, changing your opinion based on factual evidence that's in front of you. And I've looked into him a lot more. And yeah, I can see how he fits in the system. So I'm not sure it's
also people call it flip-flop. It don't matter what they call it. But it's also changing your opinion because you want to back your team. You know, I'm sure there was hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Arsenal fans that didn't want Kai Havertz, right? I'm sure there was, and he come in and he did well for them. You know, they flip flop, but what they did was got behind their player. I mean, I spoke to some Arsenal fans, and they were pleased he was there after like 10 games. So it's just backing your team and your players. That's what it's all about.
Exactly, that's what being a fan's all about. Dan says, us to finish in the Champions League spot, I predict. Like it. Morning, Anthony. Hope you're well. We're good. Thank you for asking. Just very, 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 very hot. Big up, Vindaloo. Hope you're good. Steve RFC's here. Big up to you. Shemtan says, moan, moan, moan. I love moaners like myself. Nessie comes in with a hope we never lose a game ever again, but we will. Can't deny we looked awful at points defensively last season, and my worry is we won't change. So it's either 4-1 or lose 4-1. That's worrying.
Well, the thing is, Nessie, what we got to hope for, right? And we got to hope that Ange has learned some lessons from last season. And as I said, he's an intelligent man. I'm sure he has. He's not going to go out and just like let us get slaughtered every game. You know, or just slaughter everyone with games. He will tweak, and we was lucky enough to meet up with Mickey Hazard, and he said there's some other plans coming in. So if he says it, I'm sure it's going to happen on the pitch.
Yeah, and history tells us that Ange does normally tweak more in the second season, so we'll see. Solanke is my main striker in my fantasy draft auction team. Also have Vic, Pedro, Porro, and Udogi. I'm back in the team. Good for you. I've got to be honest. I've done my fantasy team. I don't think I've got any Tottenham players in there. I'm going to have to double check. I might have Van der Ven. I can't remember. AJ says it does make me chuckle how many fans are there out there think that Ange doesn't know what he's doing and they can do a better job. Question, how many of our fans do or have managed a team in the Premier League? Even in the Championship, do you know what I mean? It does make, they go, well, I've got coaching badges or I've coached an under-11s. Well, slightly different levels. But yeah, I hear you. Big up in Keswick.
Well, Kate knows I coached the team and we won the league. But I don't think we won the league because of my coaching. I'm sure of that. I won the league because we had some good players.
Barbaric says, do we get a stream of Jimbo doing cartwheels in the garden in his Speedos if his predictions come true?
I do it naked.
I don't think he could do cartwheels with his dodgy arm. I'm not going to lie. Greekman is stubborn. He will not change for no one. Big up the Diddler.
He hasn't got to change. He's just got to do some tweaks. We don't want him to change his philosophy. That's why I love him, because of the way we play football. But certain games, he's going to have to make a few little changes, and I'm sure he will.
The Diddler says, why are people worried he won't change things up? Have you not watched us play? And just changed things many times.
Yeah, towards the end of the season, he started changing things.
Sorry, missed that. Did you say he has other players or plans? No, he said plans, didn't you?
Plans. Yeah, he said. Yeah. Nessie said that there's more than a plan A coming to the players. So he didn't let on too much because he knows obviously we got a stream because he comes on here. But he did say that.
Yep, gone to a back three, played with a false nine. Anthony's in the house, says, as a rival fan, your biggest. Do you not think 65 mil is a bit of an overpay? Honestly, from 4th to 9th, I can't place the teams. Even West Ham have done some good business.
Yeah.
65 million in today's market? No, I don't think it's an overpay because there's not many strikers around. He's homegrown, so you've got English tax. He's at the pinnacle or coming to the pinnacle of his career. I don't actually think, excuse me, I don't actually think it's an overpay when you think that they're looking for around 30 million for Nketiah, who is absolutely dog poo. I don't think it's an overpay at all. Jim, what do you think?
No, I think I was when I thought about it with my sensible head on, I thought maybe 40 million was a good price for him. But then you've got to think of his homegrown English tax, Premier League proven. The season he had last season is always going to add a bit on. So maybe it is a bit over the top. But at the end of the day, who else was there to come in? Tony's a gamble because of his attitude and the problems he's had. Not that I would ever hold that against him if he come. But I think it's a good bit of business. And when you look at some of these analysts that I've been watching on YouTube that analyse everything with football, he fits in like a glove, the way he plays. It just is the way he is with his high press, and he just fits our team. So, look, it might be an overpay by a bit, but by the end of the season, if he bangs in 25 goals and we win a trophy, because of him, or because of his help, it won't be an overpay with it, will it? So, yeah. I mean, only time will tell, really.
Jimbo, I love you, man, and hope Ange does well, but I just don't see it working with his system because it requires quality. If he gets sacked, I will super chat a few beers over. Must say, those set pieces have to be a concern. Yeah, that's one of my biggest concerns, I think. But they must be working non-stop on the training ground, I would think. But I mean,
agree with that.
We saw it against Brighton.
That's a good point, and we just have to hope they're working on it. But you've got to look in pre-season. We never had our full defence out, so it was always going to be a bit iffy.
Yeah, I mean, our Dante says, I think we're strong defensively if we have our first choice defence, but half of last season we missed at least one and it showed. Yeah, I think we've got a good defensive line, but the system does leave us a bit open. This is why I'd love to have had a DM come in. But I mean, reports from Alistair Gold yesterday said we are going to sign 2 more players, so you never ever know. 65 mil seems a lot, but it's true. It's an English tax of about 25 mil. Ivan Toney, I hear you, Anthony, but nobody's buying him. A lot of people are saying his attitude stinks. Arsenal turned their nose up him for that reason. There's a red flag there, and we cannot afford as a football club to pay 45 million for a player, and then God forbid something happen and him not be available for the rest of the season. Solanke's got a fantastic record of being available, and that's what we need. AJ says if Solanke gets 20 goals a season plus over the next 3, maybe 4 seasons, he's going to look like a great bit of business. It's not only an overpay. It's only an overpay if he doesn't score goals. I don't know why people are so negative. Big up guy says, you can see this is a slow burner. The team is improving slowly. The younger players look exciting. Think we will surprise a lot of teams. I love that. Big up to you, guy, and I hope you're right. I did think of this as well, Nessie. Tony is a gamble. Yeah, Jimbo, that was a fraudulent slip there. Tony's demands are huge, allegedly, according to the guy on TalkSport. Okay. I think he's a 40 mil striker, but then he's British, and I think Liverpool have a sell-on clause. But also, if you want the player, you pay what the club asks. This is what makes me laugh. We're always screaming, saying, if they want that, just pay it. But as soon as it's someone that's not fashionable, everyone goes, oh, we've overpaid. If it was Eze, people were screaming, just pay the money, just pay the money. It makes me laugh.
The thing is, Kate, the thing is, when you look who's out there, right, he's probably the best of the bunch that's out there. You know? He's probably the best of the bunch that's out there. And he...
Jimbo's having a nightmare with the dogs. Shem said, I don't care how much they improve the squad. If they improve the squad, the new coaches are useless because everyone but them can see how bad we are coached at set pieces. If only Ange can bring in a quality DM. Yeah, completely agree with that, Vindaloo. Jim, was you going to finish or are you still being harassed by the dogs?
No, they're finished now. Your sister's here. They crap themselves. No, I was going to say that he's probably the best of the bunch that's out there that suits us. You know, I wasn't keen on Neto because of his injuries. You know, not that I don't like him because I think he's a fantastic player. But I was looking over the last 3 seasons how many minutes he's played, and it worked out something like 15 games a season. You know, and that wasn't playing full games as well. So it was. I mean, I didn't want Neto because of that. We have enough players that get injured. You know,
yeah,
we've got
exactly.
Richie gets injured. We need a striker that doesn't get injured, which he hasn't had any injury problems whatsoever.
Yeah.
So for me, he was probably the best to suit us out there. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, AJ, I did say there's a bit of football snobbery going on Dave's show because if he was Solanke from, I don't know, Real Sociedad maybe, and his name was Solankovic rather than just Solanke, we probably wouldn't be hearing all this malarkey.
Yeah, but you've got to think as well, Kate. Right? Arsenal and City are the 2 biggest teams in the league at the minute. There's no argument about that, right? Arsenal, City, if they want a player and he's 100 million, they will go out and buy him. Right?
Yeah.
Even City, they want to bought Grealish 100 and something million. They really wanted Rice, Arsenal. They went and paid it. Tottenham don't do that, and we have to accept that. This is why I never cry about when the player's 80 million and we don't get him, because it's just not what Tottenham do. They don't do that. So, you know, we have to accept where we are. And to pay 65 million, I think is a bit over the top, but at least we did it, and we've brought in a striker that fits us and that's got a good record all round.
Yep, exactly. Cassandro's here. Big up to you. Says, afternoon to both. Hope you're well. I think I'm probably one of the few that's actually looking forward to this new season, expecting the best. It's all good, though. I'm actually very excited. We've just secured 2 tickets to Everton next weekend. So I can't wait. I'm so excited every season, no matter what I am. I think the most, not unexcited, but the most... The one time I really was down with Spurs was the whole Jose Conte time, both of them, because I just hated watching us play. I hated it. But that's the only time. I'm always excited. But normally by March, I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this season to be over. But I'm sure you're excited, Jimbo.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I was excited when the season ended.
Yeah. Anthony says you have a great defence, pains me to say. But that high line will kill your manager if he doesn't find a way of adapting. You need a good ball-winning 6 and a winger of Son's quality. Yeah, I completely agree. And he put, because the drop-off is huge, yeah. AJ says, something I heard that made me shake my head. People saying Solanke's rubbish. He's England's 5th choice, but then people were slating Southgate for his choices. You can't, my sister always says you can't reason with stupid. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I think Southgate made a few mistakes when he picked his team. And Solanke had a good season, so really he was worthy of going. But you can't blame the players for who he picks. And
No.
because he never went, doesn't mean he wasn't good enough to go. It means that he never got picked. I mean, when you look at the strikers last season, the English strikers in the Premier League, he was one of the best.
Yeah, was Declan Rice worth 100 mil? Probably not, but Arsenal paid the needed fee. I think if Arsenal won the Premier League last season, we would have all said he was worth every penny, but they still fell short. But it'll be interesting this season. We will, like I say, be giving our predictions not too long. Nick should be here soon, and of who we think is going to win the league and everything else. El Dante said, I think we're moving towards a squad where we only sign 2 or 3 signings each season, but they're significant first team signings, 40 million plus, as we tinker with the squad rather than huge changes. Yeah, that's quite a good analysis. Playing 2 at the back with inverting both full backs and that high line leaves way too much space, and let's not start on zonal marking. I'd be here for any therapy needed. Yeah, I hear you, but we've got to give Ange. No one knows what's going to happen in the future. I know a lot of people think they do, but they don't. We'll have to just wait and see what happens. Don't forget we have the young Korean and Serbian to come in early next year too. These are 2 quality young players. Yep, January I think they're coming in. Last season was the first time I've got through a season watching every match in a long time. Yep, yeah. I hear that. Completely agree with that. Big up David Shear, being generous as always, gifting a membership that went to the Diddler. We've got a live draw on Friday, and one of our members will be receiving a hand-signed picture of 9 Tottenham legends. So the Diddler, you're in the draw now. So, yeah, big up to you, and thanks so much, David, as always. Mwah! Big kiss. Dom, Solanke. I love AJ puts that in every chat now just because he wants to hear my singing. I'm sure that's what it is. Good day, Kate Jimbo, looking great. Good day to you, David. I hope you're feeling okay. Hi, Ronnie. Good to see you. AJ says, I'm expecting Solanke to rival Haaland for the Golden Boot. The quad is on. Who is this AJ? What have you done with the original one? He must have been abducted by aliens.
He's been talking to me, that's why.
Rice worth 100 million, still the second best in that position in the league. Only Rodri better. Yep, I would agree with that. Although Rice was, I think he was disappointing in the Euros, but then again, I think every England player, apart from maybe 1 or 2, was Gueye, Mainu, particularly good, Palmer. Maybe they're the 3, but everybody else I thought were disappointing. The
thing is, Kate. The thing is with Arsenal, right? Is they've shown it over years, year after year after year. If they want a player, they go and get him, you know. And if it means they pay a bit more, if they think he's going to fit into their team and he's going to do well, they buy him, you know. Yeah. And that's just the be all and end all. And we don't do that, you know. I mean, we have done maybe with Slanky, and we haven't bought players we should have bought in the past, but maybe that's going to change now.
Yeah,
who knows.
Dan Chang will be on the Friday predictions and the Monday recaps. He has done a video that will be released on Friday morning. I've got a few YouTubers together and they've given their season predictions. So that will be out on Friday morning before our Friday lunchtime show. Brian says, Eze's in talks with City. Well done, Spurs. We should be called Snail FC for the length of time they take. I don't think it's the fact of the time. I think it's that they weren't going to put down the 50 million up front. I think that's what it's on. But yeah, frustrating. Yes.
If he goes to City, it doesn't mean
start.
Well, yeah, it's like, to me, it's like going to be another Grealish, starts here and there. Yeah. Well, where's it say? Where's my name with the quaddies on?
No, it doesn't come up when I'm showing the comments. Look, if I take that off, there it is.
All right.
Big up, Drew Lala, member for 6 months, said the quads on. David Shear says Solanke 40 goals, quads on. Tongue in cheek, I guess that. Big up, Benny says Solanke getting 50 goals this season. Wow.
What's happening to Ben?
I think he's joking. That's the attitude to have, Benny. Big up, Destiny 5 says, knowing our luck, Solanke will get injured in the warm-up. No, don't say it. You might tempt fate. Please, don't even think it. Good morning, AJ. Morgan Gibbs White in, says David Shear. I'm just going to check for Brizio Romano's page. I know that it was breaking news this morning that Bruno Fernandes has extended his contract at Manchester United. Also, Cole Palmer has extended his contract at Chelsea. Almiron's deals collapsed, so he won't be leaving Newcastle by the looks of it. Brilliant news that came out, and if anyone hasn't seen Hassam's rant, have a look. Zubimendi refused to go to Liverpool and is actually taking less money to stay at Real Sociedad. Is the Klopp effect coming into play here, or is it purely that he just doesn't want to leave Spain? Who knows, but it's funny. I actually saw someone in the chat say sell Solanke. Don't. Nessie says, we have to ask ourselves, does Ange want Eze? Be mad not to, but maybe he doesn't like something about him. Exactly. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Big up Graham, Spurs GCTV. Hope you're doing well. Been a while since we had two strikers that can get double figures. Only one has to be confident, surely. Yeah.
And you got. Don't forget, you got Sonny cutting in from the left, scoring bangers.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it is. You've got to be excited. If you're not excited, what's the bloody point of being a fan? That's what I say.
We've got goals in our team, that's for sure.
Yeah. Ben's message was a typo. He meant to say 5. We're not getting a striker as I thought, so I might need therapy. No, you'll be fine. Do you think there come any more Arsenal players coming in, Vindaloo? Be interested to hear what you think. Players on long contracts at Chelsea, so they have enough time to meet all their teammates. Exactly. I've just spat on myself eating a frutella. Cole Palmer just committed suicide, 9 years. Yeah. Good day, David, my friend. Hope you're well. Yeah, Zubimendi, hilarious. I knew he wouldn't go there. I was the only one on the terrace who said it wouldn't happen. Yusuf says he's got zero ambition. He's going to win nothing. Listen, I hear you, but he's comfortable in Spain. He loves the weather. He loves everything about it. I don't think you can knock that. If he makes him happy, then you know, everyone to their own. I personally think Liverpool have a strong enough squad. I'm not sure. I think Liverpool are going to be one of the unknowns this season. I saw it, Kate. I was wetting myself. There was a meltdown of biblical proportions. It's one of the greatest rants I've ever seen. I was literally screaming with laughter listening to Hassan.
The other thing is, Kate, because the team wants a player, right? The player might be interested in going to that team, but when they sit down and talk, it might not suit one party or another party, so it breaks down. Because you're interested in a player and he does come and talk to you, doesn't mean you're going to get him. There might be things he doesn't like about the way the manager's going to play. There might be the manager might like meet him, sit down with him, not like his attitude, or you know.
Not just that, he turned down London. Why is he going to move to Liverpool? No offense to Liverpudlians, but you know, I think the nicest place in the world. Big up, Jose. Good to see you. Exactly what I said on the terrace. Why would you leave San Sebastian for Merseyside? There you go. Let me go through. I don't think it's Ange that doesn't want Eze. I think it's the price. I believe that as well.
I sent Jose my predictions. I bet he was surprised.
I personally believe Arsenal will sign 3 more players before the end of the window, and a right winger cover competition and a striker. Wow. What did we think about Coman? We're linked with him. I don't know enough about him. It's like Drula asked me about Vanderson. I don't know enough about him either to really comment. They don't set the world on fire for me. But
I know nothing about either one of them.
Yeah, I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I'm glad that he came into my stream last night to ensure that I back myself as a player. I don't know who that is. Nessie says Zubimendi didn't fancy being burgled every away game. AJ, they said Elise was dead in the water from then on, in my opinion. Yeah. Big up Lisa Chica says, hello, Kate and Jim. Eze would be great. Kate, I really like your, is it going to be a Klopp effect? That's perfect, Kate. Well, you know, I mean, part of the pull with Liverpool was Klopp. They've now got Arne Slot, who is a good manager, but maybe I'm just not sure that if they'd have had Klopp at the helm, whether they would have got Zubimendi over the line. I don't know. Hassan was hilarious. Bugs in his food. I know, it was just brilliant. Why get a right back in when we need a left back? Yep. In all honesty, Jim, I've not looked at them until I get to Sunday and put everyone's on a spreadsheet. Other news from Romano was that Chesney's contract at Juventus has been terminated, ex-Arsenal keeper. Chelsea are still in the race for Osherman, according to Romano.
And yeah, they're going to have to get a double the size changing room.
Conor Gallagher has gone back to Chelsea. As I say that, the Chelsea boy comes in who I haven't seen for ages. I hope you're well. I mean, how do you feel that Conor Gallagher's back at Chelsea? I mean, I thought that was a done deal. I mean, Jim, do you think there's any chance that Tottenham go in for him again?
Well, I don't think so, Kate. I think that that's gone, that one. I think Tottenham will be eyeing up someone else now. I'll be surprised.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you. I think Conor Gallagher is I think he's going to have to resign himself to staying at Chelsea at least for this season. So, but, you know, it's just weird how things go. You know, it looked like it was set, he was going, and all of a sudden he's back. But seems the right backs will be Porro and Spence. Van der Sent is a great player, but will be a good signing. Don't think Coleman's a good idea. His injury record is worse than Neto. Well, that's a definite no then.
Just to go back on the Nessie one, yeah, it's come out that Spence is going to be in the squad, that he's staying. So that's for me. That's a great bit of news.
Yeah, Arsenal have tried to sign. Ajax have tried to sign Aaron Ramsdale from Arsenal, but Arsenal rejected the offer. It's all a mess. It's going to collapse if Felix doesn't happen. I mean, I'd be concerned as a Chelsea fan that they're spending money like it's water. That's what would concern me the most. Your squad is frigging humongous, and
the thing is, sorry,
so
Kate,
many youngsters that who's going to sort of teach these youngsters?
The thing is, they've gone from an owner that let the managers have their plans, and he backed their plans, and their plans worked, and they won trophy after trophy for a decade, you know, maybe more than a decade. I'm not sure how long he was there. But then they've gone from a manager, all right, Nick. They've gone to an owner, that just doesn't seem to have a clue, that he thinks by buying every player on the planet, he's going to fix their problems. But in fact, all it does is give them more problems. Gives the manager headaches because he's got so many to pick from. He's got players coming in that are going to be unhappy. So they've gone from one extreme to the other.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring Nick in there. I've just seen his message that he was eating. So I'm going to let him finish his sandwich or whatever he's eating until I bring him on. Neto, 14 goals in 135 games. Great player. Yeah. I'm with you, Lisa. I don't want Conor Gallagher either. Nessie says, can't see us spending big again. If we get anyone else, think maybe 25 mil on a loan. Yeah, possibly. Gallagher will wind down his contract and get lots of money. Barney, when did you call me negative? Please let me know. I get called negative and I get called deluded in equal measures. It's hilarious. I must be somewhere in the middle because I get told I'm too pink and fluffy and delusional, and other people tell me I'm ultra negative. So it's bonkers. We desperately need to sell players because we're stuck with 40-odd players at the minute. Yeah, Chelsea, I would be really worried if I was a Chelsea fan. Yeah, 3-window transfer ban. Big up, Daniel Coys. Hope you're well. Good night, David Shear. Thanks for gifting that membership. You're an absolute ledge. I'm really happy Spence is going to be staying. He did well during pre-season. Hopefully he will continue to improve. Yeah, I mean, he's an upgrade on Emerson Royale. That's for sure. So Nick's in the back shaking his head. Let me know when you're ready, Nick. Give us the thumbs up, Mr. Big Time. Oh, he's ready. I knew as soon as I mentioned Emerson Royale, he'd suddenly be ready to come in. How is everything, Nick?
Well, he got the reception and the support that he deserves, because none of you lot deserve him. You saw the video. So yeah, no, I watched that yesterday in the club shop, signing his shirt. Number 22, Brazilian legend like Kaká, another Brazilian legend, Emerson Royale. Same number as Jude Bellingham at Real Madrid. Same number as Rudiger.
Did you have a little tear in your eye watching him?
No, I got quite excited, if I'm honest. I got a bit hard. So.
Number 22 is also two little ducks. Just saying.
Yeah.
Ben saying 3/4 of the stadium was empty.
I don't know what you were looking at, Ben. I think you're looking through those rose-tinted glasses. Or sorry, the broken tinted glasses that you've got on.
And Daniel Coys is saying anyone is an upgrade on Emerson Royale. Wow.
Yeah, Jed Spence apparently. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if he scores any own goals or gives away goals as soon as he comes on.
Well, don't you worry. You won't even need to wait for it to happen because I'm there ready. Finger on the button. Bang, 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 bang. Ping, ping, ping. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be shot fired everywhere. Exactly.
Exactly, yeah. Well, we might as well start our predictions. Obviously, Nick, I haven't played the videos you've sent yet. They're all going to go on Friday morning before the first game.
What video? Don't do any. Don't show those. Oh, that video. Okay.
Yeah, that not the other one. That's just for my own private use.
You weren't supposed to tell Jim.
Now you're so slim. Jim's like, what? What's going on? What?
I was reading.
Ben says, Jed Spence, the king of right backs. Well, we'll see. I can smell something cooking. I don't know what it is, but it's making me hungry.
That's Nick's food. Wafting up.
No, I had a couple of crumpets. That's all I had.
Oi, oi. What were their names? We're going to do the predictions. This obviously isn't for the weekend's games. That'll be Friday. But we'll start go big, go home. We'll start with the Premier League winner this year. Jimbo, who do you think is going to lift the Premier League trophy at the end of this season?
Well, I'm going to be sensible. Right.
Well, that's a first.
We're not doing top four.
Yeah. Do you want to do top four first? Well, no, do Premier League winner first. All
right. I'm going to probably pee a lot of people off here. So want Tottenham to win it, but I just think it's too early in Ange's reign. Next season, I'll be going Tottenham, but I'm hoping it's going to be this season. I really am. All right.
So what's the answer then, Jim?
I'm going to go Arsenal. And you want to know my reasons?
Yep.
I've been thinking City for a while, but I think Arsenal is going to be the third time lucky for them. I think all this business that's going on in the background with City is going to derail them a bit. As much as people say that they're concentrating on the football, and I think Arsenal are going to nick it this season. So that's my Premier League winner.
Okay. Nicholas, who are you going for?
I've said it in my video and I'm not saying it again. So that'll give you a clue of who I've gone with. So, yeah. Same as Jimbo.
And do you know what? This is unreal because I've already written mine down. I've gone for Arsenal to lift the trophy this year as well. I think City, they brought in Savio. David Durrell, first of all, I set this stream up long before Sava did. Number two, if Sava wants to talk about the same thing, everyone's doing Premier predictions. And number three, Sava's is a Premier. He's not live. And number four, there's plenty of hours for everyone. I hope that clear.
No one holds the YouTube times. It's like
anyone can stream when they want.
One can stream what they want. It's not like this person.
We've done this time for a year.
Yeah, I've had this slot for a year's time,
let's not worry about it, David.
David, the people that are going to Savas different to the people that come in here. So if we stream the same time, it doesn't affect either one.
And if people want to watch both, they can watch both on catch up. So it's fine.
Exactly that. But yeah, I've actually gone for Arsenal as well. I know City have brought in Savia, but I don't think they've done enough. And there is a chance that City are going to get a points reduction as well. I think City and Arsenal are clearly the best two teams in the league. I just have got this sneaky feeling that this is Arsenal's year. So yeah, all three of us have gone with Arsenal, which is unbelievable. Nessie says, "How dare you stream at a time of your choosing? Disgraceful." I know. I don't know. You know, hang me immediately. So Jimbo, I'll come to you and ask you, who do you think is going to be in the top four this year?
The top four, I think, is going to be. Do you want it in order?
Yes, please.
I'm going to go for Arsenal top, as I said.
Yeah.
I'm going to go City second.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Spurs third.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go. I think Man United. I'm going to go for fourth.
Okay. Oh, Sava is live, not Premier. Well, I'm always on at 12, so Sava can do whatever he likes. Easy.
Why are you getting so hung up? It's like,
I know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Why the hell does Sava need others to be his advocate? Seriously, go kiss Sava's ass. Somewhere else. Thanks, Lisa. Nick, who's your top four?
Top four. The other three teams, City, Liverpool, and Man United, I think I said. Because
Okay.
Man United have done some good business. And I think, although Liverpool got a new manager, I still think they've got the players. And I think oh, excuse me. What was I saying? I think they've just got enough. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold and Salah have got a point to prove this season. And I think, Man United just adding with De Ligt and the other guy, plus what they've done already, I think they're going to be up there and back to the Man United that we know. So
yeah, I have gone for my top four as Arsenal, City, Manchester United, and Newcastle. I haven't put Liverpool in the top four this year. I think they're going to struggle a little bit. I don't think they're going to struggle to the point where they're going to be like.
No, I think we saw enough from that. I watched the highlights the other day, and they just look really good. I know it was only, what was it, Leon or Nice or someone.
Yeah. What was you going to ask, Jim?
Who was your top four, Kate?
Arsenal to win it, City second, United third, Newcastle fourth. But, yes, Ben, exactly that. That's what I was trying to say. Excuse me. I know we do hear it every year about United, but I do think they have done some really good business. And I think, in contrast, I think Villa have done a lot of business, but I don't think they've improved. And losing Douglas Luiz, I think, is going to hurt them more than they realise.
They're dusty, but they're not. Their trophy cabinet's not dusty like ours. So
exactly.
They may be dusty, but they're still winning trophies. So
yeah, exactly. Next on the list, Jim Bob, is who is going to win the Champions League this season?
I think I've got to go with Real Madrid.
Reason? Like, you need a reason. They've won it about 5 million times.
They're the best team in the Champions League, and they know how to win it.
Yep. Nick?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? I'm going to be enjoying the Champions League music. I'm going to be enjoying Tuesday and Wednesday football. And it's going to be AC Milan.
You're so shameless. It is ridiculous.
Yep.
And
I'm proud.
I guarantee that Emerson Royale is your tip to get the winning goal.
Well, I mean, that would just be the cherry on top, wouldn't it, Kate? Beating Real Madrid in the final as well. Well, that would just be even better, wouldn't it? And no one would give them a chance in hell. Emerson Royale pops up, little cherry on the top. I'm just sat there enjoying myself, waiting for the messages of congratulations. So it's fine.
Yeah. I am actually writing people's predictions down, so I've got receipts. Let me guess. Chicken Royale to win the Golden Boot.
No, he's. I've already got a picture. Hang on, let me get the picture. Hang on.
I've gone with you, Jim. I can't look past Real Madrid. I tipped them to win it last year, and they did. And they just know how to win. It's their competition.
See you later, Ben's going. See you later, Ben.
Bye, Ben. Have a safe journey home.
Holiday.
No, he's going home today or tomorrow.
Oh, all right.
But safe journey back. I can't see past Real Madrid for the Champions League. I think they're just different gravy. Indian Gunner, big up, says, I wish I'd get proved wrong, but Arsenal won't win the league unless we sign a top-class centre-forward. I just got a feeling this year you're the nearly men, and I just can see it going. Oh, look at that picture. That is so shameless, Nick.
It's not the Golden Boot, it's the Ballon d'Or. So I just thought I'd say that.
I've got more chances of winning the Ballon d'Or than Emerson Royale. Just saying. But there you go. Loved Emerson's little dog at Spurs when he walked into Milan's trophy room. He's got a little dog.
Yeah.
Called what? Loser.
Wow. I'm not gonna.
Don't rise to it, Nick. Don't rise to it. Then we've got who's going to win the Europa League. This is a toughie, I think. Little Dig, not Little Dog. Jim, who's winning the Europa League this year?
Spurs.
Seriously?
Spurs.
Okay. I was going to ask you your reason why. Is it worth me asking your reason why?
Very good, because do I need a reason? I just think we win it. It's not a reason. I mean, it's a reason for anyone to win it.
No, not really.
I just think that we will go all out to win it.
Okay, fair enough.
And a big thing, Kate, a massive thing is the Champions League teams ain't coming down.
Yeah, that is a massive thing. You're right. Yeah. And you're also in agreement with Drula, who also has Spurs down to win the Europa League. Nicolas, who are you going for this? AC Milan again, even though they're not in it.
No, I'm not like Jim, who's probably predicting Spurs to win the Champions League, but they're not in it. No, look, I said on my video, I don't want to spoil the video, so but I went with Tottenham, and you'll see the reasons why when the video comes out.
There you go.
And it's mainly because I don't know who the hell else is in the competition. That was why I chose Tottenham.
Well, do you know what? They're in it so they can win it, I suppose. That's the way to look at it. I am going for Roma this year. I did look at all the teams. I was torn between Roma and Manchester United, but I am going to go with FC Roma to win it this season. Just got a feeling it'll be a foreign club that wins the Champions League and also the Europa League. So we'll see.
A foreign club? Do you mean like that doesn't make sense, Kate? Because they're all foreign clubs. If you're from Italy, then we're foreign clubs.
I mean, not a non-English club.
Oh, that's better. Thank you for the clarity, because
so pedantic,
a bit confusing.
So pedantic, honestly. Ronnie says that Tottenham are going to win Europa League. Big up to you, Harmless Potato. Hope you're well. Cassandra has already booked his hotel for Bilbao. That's how confident I am that Spurs will win the Europa League.
So have I. I booked them. I booked that months ago.
Wow. That is confidence. I like it. I think it might be a little bit deluded, but hey, go with it. It's all good fun. Jimbo. Who is winning the FA Cup, sir?
FA Cup. I'm going to go Tottenham.
So we're doing the double.
No, I ain't finished yet. There's another cup to come.
Oh my God. Because we're Spurs fans, that's why we support our team. If you can't back them to win, what's the point? Yep, I hear you, Drew Lala. So you're going Spurs to win the FA Cup. Nick,
yes.
Oh, I put Nick's name there. Nicolas, who's winning the FA Cup?
I can't remember what I said.
I think you said
Did I say
Liverpool.
Liverpool?
Yeah.
Hang on, let me go back to my video.
I'm pretty sure you said Liverpool because you said Arne Slot. Bit
Hang
of an
on.
unknown.
I'll put you on mute. Hang on.
The treble is on. Look at that. While you're looking, I'm going to say that I put for the FA Cup Manchester City because I don't see them going trophyless this season. So I put Man City as winners of the FA Cup. Vindaloo is saying the Goons are going to win the FA Cup. So it'll be a league and cup double for Arsenal. If that happens, according to Vindaloo, we need more Tottenham fans like Jim in this world, says Destiny 5. I think a lot of the
was right. It was Liverpool. You were right, mate. It was Liverpool.
I think a lot of the thing is with YouTube, most fans are like Jim, I think, but I think with YouTube, people are so worried that they're going to get quoted and have to admit they're wrong that they just are a little bit too.
They can quote me as much as they like. I don't give a shit.
So not had a trophy in 20 years, and Jim thinks you're doing at least a double.
No, firmer, you'll see. I don't think we're doing a double.
Well, we're on to the League Cup, Jim, so hit us with it.
Spurs. We're doing a treble.
Absolutely shameless. So, according to Jimbo, Tottenham are winning the FA Cup, the League Cup, and the Europa League this year.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't wait. It's going to be one hell of a season.
Bearing in mind, we've got knocked in the first round of both. Yeah.
Oh, my God. At least you didn't put us to win the league, I suppose. So we haven't got the quad. You're going to have to change your name to the treble is on because you've actually predicted the treble. Getting Jimbo, love it. Nick, who have you got for the League Cup?
I went with Man United. They just got this knack of playing, like we said, they're playing really badly and just coming out with a trophy every year. I just don't understand it. They shouldn't be doing all of this. It's just crazy. But yeah, that Man United. So
I have got to win the League Cup. Spurs. So I have got us to win a trophy this year. I've got Tottenham to lift the cup. I think it's time for a trophy. It's our time. And there's a little bit of hopium in there as well. Paul Pablo says, "What is
Bilbao? Think about us being in Bilbao with the sun on us, getting boozy, and not being disappointed and lifting a trophy, and I'll be there." So yeah. Cassandra will be there. I'll be there. A lot of others will be there. That's better than a League Cup on a cold February bloody Sunday or whatever it normally is. Teeming with rain, 12 degrees.
I don't care what cup it is. I mean, I would love to win Europa or FA, but I'll take the Carabao Cup if that's the one we win. I just want some silverware. Paul Pablo says, "What is the problem? We have a manager out of his depth and spending money, which new managers will have to squad. Ange should have went in May. Obviously, an Ange outer. I don't know what to say to that, really. City, the League Cup, Liverpool, the FA Cup, says Chelsea boy. Who did he say for the FA Cup? Liverpool. I've just got a feeling they're not going to be the Liverpool we know next season.
I think everyone's thinking it, and I think we've probably discussed it, and we've probably said the same thing. But seeing what I saw the other day, I think they're hungry. I think they're going to be a bit of a shock. So.
I mean, you could well be right. Drula says, "I can feel something really special this season. She can feel it in her Greek blood." Vindaloo says, "Jimbo, if that happens, I'll put a 500 quid super chat. That's if you win the Europa and FA Cup. Write it down, Kate. Don't you worry, it's written.
Don't you worry. She's a woman, Vindaloo. She ain't going to forget. She probably remembers what happened 10 years ago on the 14th of August at 12:54. Don't worry about that, mate. You don't need to say write it down.
Do you know what happened 10 years ago at this time on this day? Jimbo sat here and said we're going to win the league. Things never change. Joey Barr says, anyone give Newcastle a chance of anything this season? Good manager, no Europe. Tonali back soon. He said, I've put him as fourth. I fancy him to get in the top four. I don't actually fancy them to win a trophy, but I've got them in the top 4. Joey, I don't know what you fancy.
All I want is Gordon and Isaac to just ball for my FPL team. That's all I want. So,
just my opinion, but where social media is concerned, it would appear that certain characters would rather be personalities than fans. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Paul Pablo, I bet you're fun at Christmas. Let's do that. Where do you finish Tottenham? Where do you think Spurs will finish this season?
Third.
Jim's
Third.
going 3rd.
I'm going to say, where did we finish last year? 6th?
Yeah.
I'll say
5th.
5th. I think we're going to finish 6th.
And I've gone 7th. Purely because, and I'll take 7th and the Conference League, but I think we'll win a trophy this year, so I'll take 7th all day long.
I think if we win a trophy but finish 7th, I think everyone would be over the moon. And I think if you asked every Tottenham fan now, bar Jim, then they would say I'd take that. And then if we could fast forward, they'd take it. Apart from Jim, obviously.
Obviously.
But I just think that there's going to be a surprise. I think the 3 teams that have come up, I think, look, I'm not saying that Ipswich are going to do anything on a Leicester scale, but I think Ipswich could potentially be in the top 10 this season. I just think, I just think they've got something about them that no one's going to be used to. And I don't think they'll, there's just something going to happen. Now that they said it, they'll probably have the lowest points total ever in the Premier League, and they'll score like 4 goals, and I'll be in the mud because I'm going, oh, Barry, do you remember when you said this? I just think there'll be something like that, but I just think that the other teams, it's going to be more competitive. I think it's not going to be the fact that we're going to go backwards in the fact that we're going to fall away. I just think that it's just going to be more competitive in terms of it's, obviously the top 2 we know are going to be the top 2, but the rest of the teams around it, the Villas, yes, they've lost Louise, but Villa, Newcastle, Liverpool, Man United, you can't count them up. And I'd even go and say, another team that if they carry on this to the start of the season, they finished it, Palace, they're potentially another top 10. So it only takes a few teams to do something a little bit odd that you don't predict. And if you look at that, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, what else did I say? Man United, Chelsea, Villa, that's 7, us 8. It's going to be those 8 somewhere in there. So it's not. I don't think it's for a fact of that. And I also think, like we predicted, Kate, Ange won't be here by the end of the season, and that will have an impact.
Yeah.
But a lot of things, Nick. A lot of it's going to depend on what injuries clubs get as well.
Yeah, of course.
Well, of course, but we're due a season where we don't get people injured, right? Because
and who comes in the last few weeks of the window.
Yeah,
that's going to be a big thing as well.
Yeah, 100%. Barney says he thinks that we will finish 2nd. Just changing the subject, which first 2 managers get sacked? For me, it's Maresca and Ange Postecoglou. Jimbo?
Maresca and Eddie Howe.
Oh, interesting. Nicolas?
I'm going to go with Eddie Howe and Nuno Espirito Santo.
I think they're the 2 front runners in the bookies to be sacked first. I think Eddie Howe's going to do well this year, but I still think they'll probably get rid of him. I think they're going to want to get a more high-profile manager, but we'll see.
I think it's that, and I think it's also the England thing, right? I think that because that's not been, it's a temporary custodian. It wouldn't surprise anyone that it's kind of, Eddie Howe gets sacked and then he goes to the England job, So I just think I'd be surprised if I'd be surprised. I reckon the first sacking, if we're going to choose a month, I reckon is going to be October, before the international break. I think that'll be when the first sacking goes. And and then obviously there'll be a few around Christmas, maybe with the newly promoted sides, because they don't want to leave it too late. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. You never know. You never know what's going to happen.
You really don't know, because there's always a manager that gets sacked a bit out of the blue. I mean, I agree with this. Arteta should be sacked for the disastrous facelift. I don't know what he's done to his face. What a mess.
Has he had a facelift, has he?
He's had something done to his face. Haven't you seen him?
No.
He looks like Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, it looks yeah.
You can see he's definitely had some work done. But I mean, we'll see. Ronnie's saying Cooper and Maresca. I think a lot of people think Maresca's going to be gone. Anthony's saying it will be November and Nuno will be the first one. GBC said, I don't think Ange should get sacked, even if we have a meh season. Poch was the odd one out, and Ange will need more than 2 seasons, so sacking him would just put us back to square one. I agree. I'm not saying I necessarily want him to be sacked. I'm just saying I can see Levy pulling the trigger. Ten Hag and Steve Cooper, says Chelsea. Druda says, Kate, hell no. Ange, are you serious? I do. I'm not saying I want it, because I'm not calling for him to be sacked. I'm still Ange in. I just think Levy, you know what he's like.
Oh, shit. It says here he's had a facelift and he doesn't even look like the same person when I Googled it.
Well, someone said it's Botox, but it looks more than Botox to me. I'm going to get Botox, and if I end up looking like that, well, I don't know what to say. But he looks like Tom Cruise has had one. He's come out with the hamster cheeks, and that's kind of how Arteta looks. Very weird. Big upside dance. I hope you're well. Why are people so sure Angie's getting sacked? Because I think it's not going to be an easy run, and I think once the fans start turning on Levy, he normally blames the manager and sacks him. But I hope I'm wrong. Massively hope I'm wrong. Because I don't think it will do us any good to sack him. Nuno will be the first to go, says Tigaro.
You can lock it in.
Nick's right. It will start in October. Levy needs to stick to the plan. Arteta now looks like that woman who was at Newcastle, Amanda. What's her name? Staveley.
Amanda Arteta.
Amanda. I was going to ask something else. Oh yeah, who do you think will be Premier League's top goal scorer this season?
Yeah, it's can we do it without what's his name, Haaland?
No.
It's got to be Haaland, then, isn't it? I mean, I'm not going to. You can't go against him because he just, even when he has a bad season, he's top goal scorer. So, but I'm going to go for Solanke to be second.
Okay, Nick, are you going for Haaland?
No, I'm going Mo Salah.
Oh yeah.
Solanke second, Jim. Come on, man. Don't be that shameless. I just realised what he said. I was like, what? Did he say someone else?
I'm shameless. You can write it all down, and everybody can remind me. Don't care.
No, I haven't bought an AC Milan shirt with Emerson's name on the back. I was promised one from Iggy, and Iggy's gone to Italy. He told me what number. I knew what number he was before they announced it, because Iggy kindly gave me the information, and he said that he would buy me an AC Milan shirt with Emerson's name and number on the back. And when I get it, I will be wearing it to White Hart Lane, and I don't care, because I'm more shameless than Jim when it comes to Emerson Royale. It'll be the away kit because it's got less red on it. So
Ange getting sacked first is about as good as your take on dinosaurs. Boo. Dom dom dee dom 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 Solanke. I can't wait to sing that in a couple of weeks. I'm going for Isak as the top goal scorer this year. I think he's going to be mustard this year. Side dancer saying Sonny, and Vindaloo's going with Salah as well. Who is getting relegated this year?
Ooh, I'm going to go. I'm going to put Ipswich in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to put. Oh, that's hard. I think Southampton will be down there.
Yeah.
Who else come up?
Leicester.
Yeah, I'm going to go Leicester as well. I'm going to go Leicester as well because I don't think they're equipped.
So the 3 teams that come up go back down.
Yeah, I don't think they're equipped like they were before.
Okay. Nicholas?
I'm going Leicester, Southampton, and Forest.
Oh.
Because I think once Nuno gets sacked, then Morgan Gibbs-White leaves, and we'll probably sign him in January.
Yeah. I am going for Forest, Southampton, and Bournemouth.
I nearly said Bournemouth, Kate, instead of Leicester. I was close.
Because they've lost Dom, Solanke.
I'm not singing that. Absolutely not.
What are you going to sing?
Not. I'm not going to sing.
You're not going to sing?
No.
Leicester, Southampton, Forest. Yeah, I think Forest they're gonna go down this year. Man City,
yeah.
Leicester could well happen. Who knows? Arsenal, and Arsenal are my 3 to go down. Says Joey, shameless. Ipswich, Leicester, Everton. Yeah, Everton.
I would actually like to see Everton go down. I'm shameless there.
They've got their new ground coming.
I know, but they've lost some backing as well, haven't they, money wise?
Yeah.
So.
We'll sign another 60 million player that's worth £5 from him, like we did with Richarlison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we haven't really predicted anything outlandish apart from Jim, who's predicted Spurs to do the treble. I think they're all quite feasible.
The treble's quite feasible and all.
Okay. Obviously, Manchester City's trial starts next week. Nick, do you see them getting any sort of punishment?
Well, what punishment are they going to get? Financial punishment doesn't make a difference, whether that's Man City or anyone else, because they'll just move it around or sell hotels or do other things. A transfer ban, I don't think that does anything because they've probably got 2 good 11s better than ours anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. Do I really think they're going to expel them out of the league or give them a points deduction? Probably not.
They have to give them a points deduction. They can't do it to other clubs and not do it to them. It's not feasible.
They can do whatever they like, Jim. This is the Premier League, and whatever's decided.
You see, Angus is asking if we've done our predictions.
Yes,
Angus, you missed it. You're so looking forward to it.
All 3 of us predicted Arsenal to win the league this year.
Oh, I didn't say it, Angus, because I've said it once and I'm not saying it again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I watched was it the director or the head of Premier League yesterday talking about how they need to get it sorted. They're going to look like absolute mugs if they've taken Man City to court for 115 charges and they walk away without a single charge. I mean, I just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Jim, do you think Man City get any punishment? Do you think they get found not guilty?
No, 100%. Look, Kate, they can't hit Forest and Everton with punishments, right? And then just let City get away with it. There's going to be an uproar, an absolute uproar. What's that? Wow, that's the first. What's for? Us winning
we all
a
picked
trophy.
Arsenal. No, for us to pick Arsenal to win the league.
Yeah, there's going to be an uproar. They can't do that. They've got 115 charges. You can't tell me they're going to get away with all of it. It's just not going to happen. There's going to be bedlam if they get away with it all.
I don't know what to. Is it bedlam? Have they done things wrong? Yes. Have they got away with it? Maybe, maybe not. They've won some trophies. I don't think any Man City fans can be sitting there going, "Oh, sorry, we broke all these rules," but look at our trophy cabinet. That was Tottenham. Would Tottenham fans care? Oh, the moral high ground. We wouldn't care if we'd won all those trophies and had all those players at our stadium. We wouldn't care. So
I care.
I get it, but I just think that it's not something that we can control, and it's not anything about our club, you know. And what do we want? Do we want to be given a League Cup because they have their trophies taken away with them? No, you want to win them, not by giving them. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't really care what happens at Man City. I care what happens at Tottenham.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think they'll get found guilty of withholding information and not what's the word? Not cooperating. I don't see them getting found guilty of anything major. I just think everyone's assuming that they're going to get found guilty and get relegated. I just don't see it happening.
I don't think they get relegated, Kate, but I'm sure they're going to get a massive fine and hit with some points. They cannot just fine them. If they get found guilty of some charges, they cannot just fine them and not deduct points after what they did last season. They deducted points twice from them, from Everton and Forest. They can't do that. It's like one standard for one standard for another. Someone put that the Premier League needs City. No, they don't. They don't need any club in the Premier League. It's a huge organisation that's watched all over the world. You know, they're just a small part of it. Every other team in there's a small part of it as well. Any team goes out, the Premier League's still going to survive.
Big up to you, Revanite. Not seen you for ages. Are you still losing weight like Nicholas here? It says hard being a Liverpool fan when FSG are doing a levy. Yes. I don't think anything would have pulled. I don't think Zubimendi wants to leave Spain anyway, but I do worry for Liverpool if they don't sign a couple of players. I don't know. I just don't see what they're going to do this year. I think they're going to drop off a bit, maybe 5th or 6th, possibly for Liverpool. I would care as well, Cassandra, and I really would. And Jim knows what I'm like. If you win by cheating, you don't win. I hate it. So I would care. I'd be embarrassed to be a Spurs fan if there was real evidence that we cheated. And yet City fans all brush it off and laugh about it, but it makes me sick because they haven't really won. They've cheated, so it's not a win. So that's my moral high ground for the day. Side Answer says the City loyals will get pushed back to at least Christmas. Ange will win the sack race. Quite possibly. I think there's quite a lot of people think that Ange is going to get sacked this season. So we'll see if we're right.
We'd be good. Tottenham managers would be good at Sports Day in the sack race, wouldn't they?
They would, yeah. The Premier League will do anything not to damage their product that's worth billions worldwide. Slap on the wrist is all that will happen. I've said it since this all began. City won't face any notable punishment. I'm not sure why Leicester are being punished. I'm not sure what they've done. I haven't read about it, but I did hear on Sky Sports News that they're under investigation or something. City, when and if they get punished, all clubs are going to want to sue them. Club could be liquidated. Oh, that'd be nice. Please give City points deduction. They have to. I agree with Jimbo. Why is this City trial private? I want to know what these bastards been up to. I said that. It would have been so good to be able to see the trial. But it was never going to happen. Man United cheated and paid refs for years. If City go down, Chelsea are next. I think Hassan with his ultra meltdown was trying to rival some of our fans. Big up Vindaloo. Good to see you. Take care and see you soon. Leo says, same here, Kate. Fair's fair. I wouldn't accept anything less. And Revanite says, yeah, it's worrying. Doesn't look like we sign anyone except for a goalkeeper. Hit a bad patch in my weight loss, trying to get it back on track. Nick's the man. 4 stone down. Nick is the man. He's like Mr. Motivator. Nick, what's your advice? How do you get back on the horse?
Well, I guess it depends. It depends whether you've hit a bad patch, what the bad patch is. If it's a case of completely going backwards, then you've got to kind of start again. But if it's having one cheat meal a week or whatever, or a cheat day or whatever, then that's fine, because then it should then push you on to do a little bit more that week or the week before to make up for it. Let's just say. So I went out for 2 weeks ago. I was out for a curry on the Friday night. Went to Lord's all day for the cricket on the Sunday. I didn't eat very well, but I was still, I had to put the work in before and the work in afterwards, and then get back to where you are. So, yeah.
Don't be too hard on yourself, and just
Exactly. Don't be too hard on yourself, and also don't use those. What I would do, Revanite, as well, is I wouldn't say don't use the scales, because the scales it's a mental thing with the scales. What I would do is I'd start doing measurements, and you'll see the difference in your measurements rather than difference in the scales. So, yeah. So, and look, you've been injured, not been able to exercise. Put on 2 kilos, so not bad, lost 40. So there you go. So you put on 2 kilos, but there's a reason. So don't think of it in a bad way. Well, whatever your injury is, try and do something else. If I can't swim because I hurt my shoulders, I went and did some more walking. So there's always ways, depending on what the injury is. So there's always a way to do it, but just think of, you don't have to always do the same thing, because otherwise it becomes boring, it becomes repetitive, and then you regress and go the other way. So there you go.
Wise words. Who's the backup to Vicario or Udogie if injured?
Well, the backup to Vicario is Brandon Austin.
Yeah.
And
Udogie will be
Davis at the minute.
Spence or Davis. Yeah.
Yeah. At the minute, because I think that we might be getting a new left back in. It's possibilities.
Julia said the new VAR rules. I haven't gone through them. Does anyone know what they are?
Oh, I had a look at them, and it was just like what was it? I had a look at them last night.
Among the, here we go. What are they?
They're not. They're going to let they're going to let the fans know what's happening, right? But they're not allowed to do it in the ground. They only can do it on social media. So they said that they think it'd be going on X as it's being done, but they can't do it in the ground for some reason. I remember that.
Oh, Mark CFC's back. Good to see you, Mark. You've been missed. I hope you're doing well. And what you make of Chelsea would be very interesting to hear. Did you know what the rules are, Nick?
It just says, so far the VAR operators have been under wraps, but now during games, officials would have to wear microphones. Following a VAR review, they would communicate using a speaker to update the stadium crowd of the outcome.
Right.
So rather than just putting it on the screen, no handball or no penalty or whatever it is, they would do it at they would say, like, a bit like, I guess if you look at American football, right? The guy said blah 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 penalty thing, no, not enforced, or whatever the flipping, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, so I think that's it. Aren't they doing the semi-automated offsides as well? Are they doing
I hope
that?
so. I do hope so. Anthony, that's amazing. Lost 135 kilos in 5 years. That's unbelievable. And Mile High Leo says, way to motivate. Big up, bro. Big up, Leo. Hope London's doing well. Sent her a little present today. Bless her. A little heart. Robinson at Fulham would be good competition for Udogie. Yeah, a few people have said that. He's decentish player. Bar needs to be got rid of its shit. Kuva, happy belated birthday to you. You're naughty for not telling us. Kuva says,
happy birthday, Kuva.
What the F? Football. Where's Melia? Get the queries and theories on, for F's sake. She's out today. She's left me.
She's gone to her granny.
Gone to her granny's, yeah. Big up Granny, who makes lovely jam. Yeah, new VAR rules are whatever Liverpool want. Yeah, I agree, Mark. I think they need some help. But it's good to see you back in the chat. You've really been missed. We was worried about you because we hadn't seen you around. My issue is completely opposite. I'm 6'2", but only 78 kilos. Can't put on weight even if I eat 5 times a day. I would love to be like that. I literally walk past the cream cake and put on a stone. But it is
no one
what
likes
it is.
to show off, Indian Gooner, yeah? No one likes to show off.
Yeah. Offside should be back to daylight rules. We want more goals. What's wrong with the world? Yeah, they've made a really easy game extremely difficult. Jack's in the house. Big up to you. Says Europa squad rules are so complicated. Will Skip be allowed to leave because he's homegrown? I have no idea. Yep, semi-automated offside should be good. Happy birthday, Kuva. Yes.
What's the semi-automated offside?
It's what they use
The Euros.
In the Euros, and you can't. It's done by computer, right? It's done by like sensors. That's right, isn't it? Have I got that right, Nick?
Well, I don't know. It just shows a bit of more of a graphic and you see where it pulses where the bodily part is offside, so you can
it's
see.
not like it's not as easy to. It's not as open to interpretation as the way we do it now.
And that's come in, is it?
Well, it's been really successful abroad, so I don't understand why it's not being used.
Right.
Oh my God! Just imagine the ref going to the toilet with the mic on. We watched Impractical Jokers when they made the guy go toilet with a mic on. Do you remember, Jim?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Who do you think will be player of the season this year?
What, for the whole Premier League?
Yeah, I think
young player or both. I don't know. It's going to be. I don't know.
That's really difficult.
Well, I've got Arsenal to win the league, so I'm going to go. I'm going to go for Rice.
No,
Declan Rice.
I think he'll be good this season for Arsenal.
Oh, he's got a sensor in the ball as well, apparently. I think. Oh God, it's so difficult. Angus is saying Ødegaard. I think I'm going to go really easy and say Rodri to be player of the season.
I was going to say Rodri, but I can't because he's there. I don't think they'll win the league this year.
No, do I? But he could still be player of the season. Haaland, Solanke. Hoover says, I've successfully quit smoking, drinking, taking drugs, fighting and gambling, but dieting I can't cope with. I might have to take up drinking again, so I don't care what my size is. What mark out of 10 do you guys give Tottenham's transfer window to rate the incomings and squad depth and outgoings, blah, blah, blah? Nick, as it stands.
6.
6. Okay.
I think the positive. I think the positive is. Sorry, just in case anyone was asking why 6, I thought you were going to ask me. I think the positives are the outgoings and the termination of contracts and everything else. I think that we haven't addressed the striker really. We haven't addressed that number 6 position, and that the midfield again is still. We haven't really, Bergvall, yes, has come in. For me, needs to depending on whether if Kulu's going to play on the right wing, then I think Bergvall needs to start instead of Maddison. But I just think that midfield it's just missing that the defense is missing that protection, and I think that is where we're going to be undone again through that midfield. We'll just get cut through, and I just don't think where we've strengthened. It's not exciting. Timo Werner, Solanke, they're not, exciting players and players that I can get excited. So 6 is probably quite generous to some. But look, I think we've got what 2 weeks left, 2 and a bit weeks left of the window. This is screaming a Jonathan David 25 million or whatever it is, and maybe this Conor Gallagher thing will play out depending on what happens with that. So, which again doesn't excite me. So, probably then get moved down to a 5. Yeah, and obviously
Joey Barton being savage there. I would have said a 3, but we got rid of Royale. Jimbo, what do you give it out of 10?
Well, I'll give it a 10 for getting rid of Undembele. That's for sure.
But no, overall,
I think up to now 7. I'm pleased with the business we've done with the youngsters coming in. Gray, we're pleased with him. Bergvall, pleased with him. Solanke, I'm pleased with him. I still think there's going to be a couple more to come in to bump it up. So at the moment, I'll give it a 7.
I will give it.
And we got rid of a good few players that we needed to get rid of. So
I'm giving it a 4.5.
Bloody hell.
Just because we got rid of Højbjerg, we got rid of Royale, we got rid of Ndombele, We got rid of Rodons, and we've bought in Solanke, who I'm pleased with. I think Gray is going to be good. With this Korean guy that we've bought in, and I think it's not dead yet. I think there'll still be at least one more coming in, but it's not enough. I think we need number 6. And if one more person says Ange don't play with a 6, I'll scream. So I'm going 4.5. Ballon d'Or prediction, Mbappe for me at Real Madrid. I don't know if anyone's got anything different.
I would say it depends. It was too early. It was too early last season, but I think if Real Madrid have the season that they have, it won't be Mbappe. It will be Jude Bellingham.
Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is a good call. Jimbo, any ideas on who's getting the Ballon d'Or this year?
Amelia.
Well done, Amelia.
Theories.
I'll
go Mbappe as well, Kate.
Yeah. Question is, has Ange changed? Is there any evidence on playing Bayern twice? It's the same Ange. Thing is, he didn't have a full team and it was a friendly. I think it's really difficult to judge too much on a friendly. But yeah, I mean, I know people say I'm hard, but I think it's a 4.5 the window. I could have said 4, I could have said 5, so I thought I'd go in the middle. Angus is saying Vinicius Jr. to get the Ballon d'Or. I don't understand, Ben. Please explain this. I keep hearing people saying our squad is weaker. How is our squad weaker? But Nick, do you think our squad's weaker this year?
If we look at what we've got, I mean, obviously it's weaker without Emerson Royale. Yeah, silly question, Kate. Look, I think in terms of, I think the midfield is weaker because we've got rid of someone that we know that can kind of sit in. All right, he's not great and makes loads of mistakes in Højbjerg, but we don't, Maddison is a big season for that midfield. Bentancur, Maddison, Basuma after what he did last week. I think it's the midfield. In terms of up front, obviously we've got Solanke now, which we didn't have. So yeah, I mean, on balance, the defense, looking at the way Dragashin played in the Euros, looks stronger. The attack is meh, but I guess it depends if Sonny's going to be out on the left and not kind of in the middle. But it's that, I just think maybe that midfield just looks a bit weaker, which is why, I know a lot of people don't like Conor Gallagher, but I just think he would be that person that we need as in that 6 role that could put a bit of steel in there. But weaker as in like massively weaker, probably not. But it's the questions around that midfield. It's the midfield and how it's going to play. If it's going to ball, and if we're going to see Maddison step up and start pinging in free kicks and everything else, then it won't be weaker. But I guess it's slightly weaker because of the midfield, not through anything else.
Yeah, but explain to me who we've got rid of, right? That would have been a first. Let me finish. Who have we got rid of that would have been a first team starter for definite? No one.
We haven't, Jim. But the midfield is the problem. That's what I mean. So in types of games where we need to make that change and we need someone to sit back and we need someone to do things, then unfortunately Højbjerg, if you look at Højbjerg under Conte, that's the role that he played, and that's what sometimes we need.
We had look, Nick. We had
not about first teamers. I don't think you can call apart from Son. I don't think you call the rest of the midfield. Johnson's pony on that right hand side. Kulu, what's he going to do? Play on that right hand side? So where's Johnson going to play? I don't understand that right hand side. The left hand side, you've only got Sonny. In the middle, Maddison is just toilet. And Basuma, Bentancur, Bergvall, they were pony last season.
It doesn't mean to say they're going to be shit this season. This is where
I know, but I just think we're missing that that player, that Gallagher who plays 6 or the 8. If I just think we're missing that player. I think not from a fact where he's going to start, but in a game when we never know how to manage games. We always carry on. We either start slow and we're second half FC, or we get the lead and we crumble at the end because we don't know what we're doing. We're still trying to do the same thing and go forward. We don't have that someone with that footballing IQ that can just sit there, grab the great game by the scruff of the throat, put in a tackle in that midfield, and say we're not losing this game today. That's what we're missing.
Was Højbjerg that? In and
some,
out, he was
maybe in some games. Yes, he was. But what do we have? What do we have? What do we have on the bench? We have 2 kids. We have an Archie Gray, which we haven't really decided where he's playing. Bergvall or Maddison. Madison's been pony, but he'll probably start against Leicester on Monday. I just don't.
Okay, I don't care. He calls me a happy clapper. He can call me
No,
what he
but
likes.
I don't have that. I don't like people calling anybody anything.
I'm a
So
happy
that's
clapper. I love my club, and I'll back them to the hill. So I'm a happy clapper. I don't care. Yeah, Paul, I am a happy clapper. I love it.
I just think we just need that X factor. We need someone that we're going to get excited about, right? Someone that we're going to get, like, if we go and sign Eze before the start of the window, everyone is going to be over the moon. I don't think it's happening because it would have happened by now.
Look. There's still going to be a couple of players come in, so we don't know who that is yet. So it's hard to really.
I know it's him. I'd say slightly. I'm not saying like 50%. I'll just say slightly, just because I think it's just too much going on.
There's no one that's gone, Nick. There's no one that's gone that I would think, oh my God, I'm gutted we've lost him. The squad is thinner, yes, but we needed to thin it out, but weaker, no. What's his name? He's exactly right. Leo's exactly right. I think it's thinner.
I actually agree with that. I think the squad's thinner, but I don't think it's weaker. Not in a million years. We all were screaming for these players to go. So how can it be weaker? But I also agree that the midfield isn't complete yet. We do need someone. But I don't think we had that person last year either. So
I think if we're gonna be brave and we're talking about Bergvalls and Grays and Lankshire's and Mikey Moores and all of that, then do you know what? Don't sign anyone and just let them play, because those kids will have no fear. Those kids will play. They have nothing to worry about. They're on a free hit because the reason will be, they're young, they're learning and everything else. So just play them and get them this experience, because what's the worst can happen? The same thing that happened last season. So that, for me, if Ange does that and trusts in the youth and they play and they ball, then that actually probably, do you know what? Actually, getting rid of all those players was probably the best thing that we've ever done, because it allows the opportunity. How many times have we said that the youngsters don't get a chance? They go off on loan.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it, Nick. I don't get it where you think that we're not stronger than last year. We might be missing some players, but I still think we're stronger than last year. I do. I think we're stronger than last year. The players that have gone, you can maybe make an argument for Royale and Højbjerg, but are they going to make a massive difference to our team if they were still there? I don't think they do. I mean, what's his name? I quite like Royale as a defender. I've said that to you 1,000 times.
Yeah, you have, Jim. You're right.
Yeah, as a defender, I think that he did all right. But Højbjerg, for me, he could lose you a game as quick as he could win you a game. You know, he come on he was against Arsenal, scored an own goal straight away. You know, that's.
I think that for me is more around the experience. I think the experience in big games and playing that, we don't have that. But if that means,
I would rather have the youngsters in and them learn, right, and maybe lose.
That's why I want them to play, Jim. I want them to play, because there's no point in keeping them if they're not going to play. And we just do what we've done. Dane Scarlett, for me, is never going to make it at Tottenham Hotspur, because, like with every other young kid, we've mismanaged that situation.
Yeah,
right. He's going to go to Oxford in the Championship, so obviously, you know, all of Laura's family are Oxford United supporters, and I'm more of a supporter than Lee Smithy Smith. So, you know, I've been to more games than him in the last few years. So, but if he does, he should be starting. But They got Matty Phillips, who was at West Brom and he was playing. I don't think Dane Scarlett even starts at Oxford. You know.
Let me ask you a question, Nick. Who would
Yeah.
Who would you rather come into the midfield, right? Gray or Højbjerg?
Well, it's Gray, obviously, but
When we got Gray and
but I would rather, for me, Basuma can do one. I would rather we got rid of him or tore up his contract or whatever happened after the other day. I would much rather see, if that's the situation. But the issue is, he played at centre back, he played at right back, he played in midfield. I actually think Archie Gray could be the number 6 that we're asking for, because he looked far better in defence than he did in that midfield role. But what do we know? Know?
Gray getting that midfield. Some of his tackling is unbelievable. Clean tackling as well. So I'd much rather.
That's what we need to do. So I don't know. Maybe I've talked myself out of saying we're weak.
Well, I just think to myself, Nick. When I look at the players that have gone,
I'm such a flip flop.
It's players that needed to go. They needed to get out of our club. Players we didn't want, And there's no one that's gone that I sit back and think, oh my God, we're going to miss him. I just don't, And that's my opinion. I don't think that anyone's gone. We're going to miss him, including Højbjerg.
Oh no, we're not going to miss him.
Big ups David Shear for gifting another membership that went to Angus the Gooner. So big up. Thank you, David. Yusuf said, is Solanke really the answer to your problems? I think he's the answer to our problems up front as a striker, but I still think we've got a problem with the wingers, and I still think we need a strong defender. Strong midfielder. I agree, because I don't want to see Basuma playing at my club, and that leaves a massive hole. We've got to get someone else in. I know Nick's saying about Conor Gallagher. I'm not sure if there's anyone else on our radar, but I just find it. All I hear is the people that are critical of Spurs at the moment are saying we're much weaker than we were last year, and I don't understand it. I don't understand how that is. I'd understand if we'd sold, I don't know, Maddison and Kulu, then maybe I'd say we are, but I don't have the same agreement.
Some people would say that we wouldn't. We'd be better off.
Well, some people would, Simply Stu, big up to you, and that rhymes. Basuma filmed himself taking nitrous oxide out of a balloon on Snapchat like an idiot.
Going live on Instagram at 2 a.m. the day before the Bayern Munich game.
Yeah, so I appreciate it's the squad depth, but as Jimbo said, I'm not going to miss Højbjerg or Royale, and I'm sorry, Nick, but I don't think we will. I would like to see an Mbeumo, someone like that coming in the midfield. That's who I'd like to see. I don't know. It can't. The thing is, there are big gaps in our squad, but I think it's going to take more than this summer window to fill it. We can't do everything at once. Compare our squad with the team that started last season against Brentford. It's not worse. No, I don't think it's worse. But literally, that's all I've heard recently. Oh, we're weaker than we were. And I don't understand, because it's the same people that were screaming.
And you've got to think as well, Kate, a lot of the players that have gone don't fit the way Ange plays. So what's the point of keeping them? They just don't.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that sparked a debate anyway. It's always good fun. Lisa says, I'm so over Biss, to be honest. I agree with Kate and would prefer him to be sold. If he continues to piss off Ange, he might be gone in January. Yeah. I mean, Nick, if you could choose someone to come in, or one or two to come in before the end of the window, have you got anyone in mind that you want to see? Obviously, Eze is going to be someone that we want.
Eze is the obvious one. And I think I just don't understand. I don't really understand unless he's obviously. I understand why Brentford will need him till December, but if they were at Hotspur Way training before they left for the Euros, we should have just got Eze and Tony done, and that for me is the two biggest missed opportunities. Regardless of everything else, that would have started off the summer, and that would have changed everyone's perception, and that would have seen that we're trying to do something a little bit different, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
I just think for yeah, you can argue there's everything. Forget about everything around that player. With Tony, he just brings something different, and we can't keep going down the same route of trying to, we want someone that can play 3 positions. We want someone that's going to get, if you've got Romero at the back that doesn't give two monkeys about, getting in, stuck in, and everything else, right? I don't really think you've got that in the midfield or in the attacking line. And obviously Royale used to save Romero, so it'd be interesting to see if Pedro Pony steps up and helps Romero, because otherwise it could be interesting. But again, it's whether we can all say what we want, but it's ultimately what Ange wants, and he probably doesn't want them for whatever reason. And they've got access to more data. They're the ones that are professionals. They are advised, sometimes poorly, sometimes in the wrong way. But if they're the ones making the decision, then they're the ones making the decision, and we've got to kind of leave it with the footballing people, which scares me to say that, because sometimes you think they work somewhere else.
I mean, big up Aaron. He's asking, if you could have one more player, would you have a proper number 6 or a proper winger?
I'd go number 6.
Nick, same.
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. Because do you know what? A number 6 is that missing piece that holds everything together. It will stop the amount of goals being scored, and it'll allow a bit more freedom for, it'll mask maybe some of the problems. But if Porro and Adogi are bombing forward, they ain't going to worry about getting back, because you've got somewhere there. Which is why I always say I never understand why we don't play with that back three, because it would just give us a little bit more protection and allow. It would not only do that, it would give more space in that midfield. So yeah, it would. I think the 6 would be transformational to what Ange wants to do and how quickly he wants to do it. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm the same. I would have a 6. And the last question is, as it stands, where are we likely to finish in silverware? Well, I can reveal I've put Tottenham to finish 7th and win the Carabao Cup. Jimbo has put us to finish 3rd and win Europa, FA Cup and Carabao Cup. The treble is on. And Nick has predicted us to finish 6th and win the Europa League. So we'll see. Simon Jordan mentioned Tony wanted something like 250 grand a week. Tony also refuses to admit he had an issue with gambling and didn't accept he did anything wrong. There is a lot to the Tony situation. Yeah. Paulinho would have been great. He always seemed to hurt us, but that ship sailed to Munich. Yeah, great player. I think everybody wants a number 6, even though Ange doesn't play with a number 6. Proper winger that doesn't lose the ball every 8 seconds or fails to even touch the ball for 95% of the game. People want Biss gone, yet want Tony brought in. Yeah, double standards, I suppose. Lisa's saying we finished 3rd, win the FA Cup. So we'll see. Not long to wait, but Friday we are back. I'm not here tomorrow because I've got my physio, but we're back Friday for our Premier League predictions for the weekend. I am on the terrace tomorrow night, though. I've just remembered. Terrace friends. Oh, friends. Nick, thanks as always for coming on late as usual, coming in on big time. And for helping us sort out some seats for Everton next weekend, which I'm already buzzing for. Can't wait. William went, am I going to that one? I went, no, not that one, babe. He went, am I going to Ipswich? I went, no, not that one either. I said, but I will get you a ticket for this season. I promise. Bless him.
We can go to Ipswich, but he just won't be sat with you. He'll be sat with Ben and Sim. But
yeah. Or he can sit with Jim, and I'll sit with big time Ben and Sim.
Well, you can warm my seat for me, Kate. There you go.
I would normally do that, but because we're sitting with lovely Leo, I wouldn't give up that ticket for anything.
Leo might message me and goes, do you know what, Nick? If you got a ticket, I'll go and sit with Ben and Sim. I will sit with them.
Yeah, that's true. Go on, Jimbo. I love the optimism, but unfortunately, I don't see it with this system and lack of quality. Bobby wants a 6, so he can be the 9. Nick, tell them about the signed Sheringham jersey you sent me.
I don't need to say about anything, Bobby. You've got a keyboard. You can type away.
You sent him a signed Teddy Sheringham jersey.
He paid for it. I didn't send it to him. I'm not gifting it to him. I sent it to him. Yeah, I got a signed Sheringham
said
shirt.
that like you didn't want to gift it to him.
I don't. I'm poor. I don't like him that much.
Oh, Bobby.
That's
no.
nice.
He has a signed Sheringham shirt in his possession now after some bit of to-ing and fro-in with Canada Post or whatever, everything else.
Awesome. And we have a signed Van der Vaart shirt in our possession, which I've got hidden in my secret stash so I can smell it when I want. Leo says you weren't supposed to say that, Nick. No, he's a cheap bastard, but it was nice he sorted it for me. There we go.
Yeah, the conversation. I'll tell you the conversation quickly came. Right? So I messaged him. I said, Bobby, got this. I might be able to get this shirt for you. Blah, blah, blah. Bobby replies back, why are you saying you're getting a shirt? You know I love Teddy Sheringham. And I said, it's for you, you dickhead. And he was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, so don't you start coming in, Bobby, throwing some heat. I'll throw it straight back at you.
It's these Americans. You can't trust them, you know.
Yeah, I should have asked Google to translate into American. They didn't understand English.
Exactly. Lies, receipts incoming.
I've got the receipts, mate. Don't you worry about this. We'll do it now, Bobby. We will do it now if you want to do this, mate. Don't you worry about this. We'll do it live and direct with the receipts. Hang on, find all your nonsense pictures that you said. Oh, actually, they're quite good. Some of the pictures. Hang on. Here we go.
Yeah. Breaking news.
Where are we? There's the shirt, by the way, so everyone can see it.
Oh, that's wicked. Look at that.
Right, so it's going to be here. Hang on. Hi, mate. I might have got a signed Teddy Sheringham shirt. £54. We'll know more in the morning. But obviously, I bid on it thinking of you. What? Sweet. How are you? How come you didn't join Kate's? I said, hey man, I got the shirt. I was on in the morning. We had a barbecue at Laura's sister's and got back at 8:30. He goes, what the fuck? You have to send me a pic. I'm so jealous, you motherfucker. Oh, I mean, I'm so happy for you, my friend. And I put, it's for you, you dick. So send me the money and I will post it to you. I didn't get it for me. You want the receipts, Bobby? There's the receipts.
Oh, Bobby, he's just mugged you off. He's got the receipts. I can't believe he called you a mofo and you still sent it to him. I'd have told him bollocks. Reread it. I might have got a signed shirt. Nothing. I got you a signed shirt, wanker.
Yes, I might have got a signed shirt for you. For you, Bobby. Why would I get a shirt for your?
To read Irish prick.
Is there something wrong with you or something? Do I need to speak a little bit Jindian or what? Do I need to speak? Come on, mate. I might have got a signed shirt was for you. It's like me getting a signed shirt for Angus and going, I might have got this shirt for you. I might have got this shirt. I'm not going to buy a signed Arsenal shirt, am I, Bobby K? So you learn to read between the lines. You've known me long enough. And you, my friend, are in the wrong. I will not have it any other way.
I concur. I think you're in the wrong, Bobby. The for you was added to the later message. Learn English. Geez, your country's gone downhill. It's actually improved since you left it, Bob. So I've got to be honest. I'm just saying. He knows I love him, really. Thank you to Chris Peters and for becoming a new member, for David Shear for gifted 2 memberships, and for Drew Lala for being a member for 6 months. Please join us on Friday at noon for our predictions for the first Premier League set of fixtures. Kuva's saying, wow, someone's feeling a little grumpy since the worst right back in the world has left. Oh, Queen Ellie, yes, she's got her own channel now. She's got Spurs Diehards Till I Die. So that's why she's not been on as much. But yes, she's fine as far as I know. As I say, Nick, thanks for coming on. Jimbo, don't need to thank you. But yeah, we'll be back on Friday for more of the same. Effing big timers sticking together, all good. I got Bo and Jim.
Sorry, who's that? Who's that put the message in? I don't recognise him.
Oh, he's some American guy, I think. Jim, I'll let you close the show as only you can. But thanks for watching. Please smash the like on the way out, everyone. Go on, Jim.
Come on, you Spurs. The treble is on. We will finish in the top 4, but we will win fucking 3 cups.